So is pro even on your mind at this point?
I'll be completely 100% honest with you. My goal, and I mean, it wasn't even a goal. It was like, it's just when I get old enough, I was playing pro football or pro baseball, and that was it. At the time, it was I was going to play for the Cowboys. I was a huge Cowboys fan. Roger Staubach was my guy, and
Sure.
I would say, yeah, I was matter of fact. I never looked at the odds. I mean, that never mattered to me. I was like, you think about the odds. I don't care how good you are as a seventh grader. Size, ability, whatever. You got to think. Still, it's tough odds. There's a lot of stuff that has to kind of fall in place for you and you have to be good. And I never wavered from it. Nothing was going to stop me from reaching my goal.
You're a guy that as a kid didn't miss a day of school for 10 years.
Oh, the drive is tremendous. No, I didn't miss a day of school. I never missed practice. I never missed games. Did I like school? No. I wasn't a model student. I just assumed that everyone knows that I was bound and determined that nothing was going to stop me, no matter what. And that's the truth.
Back then, your own dad was your high school coach.
Mm-hmm.
You find your way to quarterback. Your dad was a hell of a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to know you've got a great arm.
Mm-hmm.
You've always had a rifle arm. In high school, you guys didn't throw the ball at all.
No.
3-4 times a game,
maybe,
if that?
Maybe. Ran the wishbone. Most people don't even know what the wishbone is.
No. So, I mean, a wishbone quarterback, you're athletic, you're running, you're getting hit, and maybe you throw it every once in a while, but your way out is to go to some college and then hopefully move on. At what point do you know you're good? And were you ever in a position in this system, if you want to call it that, to know how good you were as a high school kid?
Probably around my junior year. I knew baseball, I felt like much earlier I had something maybe the other kids didn't. I could play all the positions. Granted, my dad was an exceptional baseball player, and when I first remember walking or doing anything, it was baseball.
I mean, look at this picture, though. How old are you there, would you say?
17.
I mean, you're big. I mean, you're put together. You're filling out a uniform, though.
And at that time, I was throwing low 90s. And I say that because I was a little erratic. So you didn't want to be batting against me.
Was it realistic that you could have been Brett Favre,
I think so, yeah.
the baseball
guy? I had a full scholarship to Southern Miss to play football and baseball.
But that came late.
It came late. My offer came the evening before the actual signing day.
The reason is nobody saw what you could do. You're kind of this hidden gem down there. Nobody knows you've got this rocket arm throwing a football. You end up at Southern Miss because, in essence, your dad had played baseball there, and he had some connections, and there was somebody that saw you that got up on the table and said, we need to bring this kid into Southern Miss. But this wasn't some big recruiting effort. You were fortunate to get that opportunity.
Mark McHale was the offensive line coach at Southern Miss at the time. Mark McHale's recruiting area was South Mississippi. He says to my dad, he's like, if you want me to sell your son to Southern Miss, I got to see some stuff on film.
Again, he's saying this to your dad.
He's saying that to my dad.
Because he's your coach.
Right.
Like, let him throw the ball.
Yeah. He's like, I tell you what, you come and watch him in pregame, and you'll see he can throw.
Thanks, Dad.
McHale's like, all right, okay. So he came to pregame a few times, and I mean, it was not a structured, like, passing, coordinated deals. I'm like, hey. And I throw it 80 yards. So Mark McHale's like, I couldn't tell you if he's accurate, but this guy can sling it. And I had touch. I really did. But I thought, touch doesn't get you attention. Knocking a guy's face mask gets you attention. So I'll show the touch later. I got to break a few fingers now. My philosophy was do something that is going to, wow them and worry about you. You got to get the attention first. So if maybe it's some unbelievable slam dunk, you may not be able to shoot worth anything, or a 4-1-40